Hi everyone, welcome to Handicraft C to Z channel, and in today's video I'm gonna show you how to warp your loom for the doubled weaving. This type of threading is needed when you do when you need to work with either the tubular weaving, so that there's no start and end, it's just the tube that you will be weaving. It's good for handbags. And the other way to use it is two separate layers of cloth. It might be joined sometime in the middle of the weaving, or just keep the two identical pairs for the same length and width. Or the third way to use this type of weaving is to folded weaving. So when you you start weaving, as you, for example, I got here 40 centimeters. If I was doing the double folded, that would end up as a 80 centimeter cloth, because I'll discuss that later. But generally, the weaving starts, you start here with a new shuttle, go over there and come back. So one side remains open, the one side is closed as just a continuing of your cloth. So what we need for this is two heddles, identical heddles, two pickup sticks. I lost the original one, so I just borrowed something from my husband's garage, and that's one the same. And nothing else. It's not that complicated, but just a bit annoying. So let's get started. So we all already know that you can weave the plain weave, tabby weave on the rigid heddle loom using one heddle, and we can do the overshots and maybe some warp and weft face patterns, but it's very simple. But adding the second heddle can actually give us, and a bit of some pickup sticks will give us ability to weave either the simulation of the four heddles, or you can do in my particular case, I'm gonna weave the let's say it's not doubled, it's not double-sided, it's kind of double layered cloth, and I will be using the shuttle and heddle holder, which will be two separate layers of cloth that will be joined at some part, and maybe some broke bouquet as a pattern. So for that one, I warped. This is the first heddle. That will be actually the back one. I've done some bit already, and well, let's pretend that this part doesn't exist. So what we do for each slot, I warped 4 threads, 2 dark colors, 2 light, and since the dark thread will be the bottom layer, the bottom cloth that I'll be using, I'll warp it to the back heddle. So what I do, I leave the bunch of 3 to the left, and I threadle the dark thread into the right, as you can see. Get the camera right. So I got the 3 threads that go to the left, and the dark thread to the hole on the right. Again, pick up the threads. I'm using mercerized cotton, and the heddle is 12.5 dpi. Again, I pick up 1, I set the 3 to the left, and insert the thread to the right and to the side, so it doesn't get messed up on the way. So this way I know this part is already threadled, and we can move to the next bit. In total I have 40 centimeters, which is I know 16 inches. 16? Yeah. Warped. And again, 3 to the left in the slot, one to the right into the hole. And so it goes on like this until I finish threading all the warp, and we'll continue with the front heddle. So I warped all the every fourth thread, which in my case, which is dark chocolate, the hot chocolate colored, is in the eye, and the rest of the threads are in the slot to the left. So 3 threads in the slot, 1 in the hole to the right. For the next step, we have to add the second heddle. Usually it says place it in the upper position, but for the matter of stability of the heddle, what I have to do is to place it in a neutral, and the front heddle goes to the lower position. This is just for the time being, so that we warp all the threads into the according slot. Say if I started here, well, in my case I know where the hole is, so I thread it the following way. I pick up the 3 threads from the slot and 1 from the eye of the previous, so we're back to the bunch of 4 threads, the original ones. So we've got 3 in the slot, 1 in the hole, and pull it through the slot. This is needed so that we can later place one of the light ones through the eye to the left, but so far we don't worry about that. I just get myself some threads, and I will continue threadle them through the heddle. Again, 3 and 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3 in the slot of the back heddle, 1 in the eye, and all of them are threadled through the slot in front. And so that's what I said. I'd rather have this one than falling the back falling out. So I'll continue with that, and I'll come back when I finish, and we'll get all the threads into the slots of the front heddle. So the last part with the heddles, and then we will move with the pickup sticks, is that right now we have in the front heddle slot, we have 2 dark and 2 light threads. And you remember that the dark cloth will be the bottom of the weaving, and the light part will be on the top. So I leave both dark threads, one of them which is already threaded, into the eye, into the hole of the back heddle, and in the front I leave one of the light threads, and to the left of the slot I insert it into the hole to the left, pass the threads to the left, and again 2 dark and 1 light thread will remain in the slot, 1 light one will go to the eye on the left You might want to help yourself in the back of the heddle. And again, pass the threads to the left so they don't interfere and don't hang around. And now again, two dark ones, one light into the slot, one into the hole, and so on like this. Will take me about half an hour, so we'll stop recording and we'll come back when I complete the threading, and I'll also do the tie-ups and tie it to the beam, because it's standard procedure. Just tie the knots and tie it to the beam. And when I finish that, we'll come back with the pickup sticks. Now I finished threading everything, and I did the tie-up to the front beam. Now the only thing left to do is to separate the unheddled threads, and I will use the pickup sticks. For that I will need two pickup sticks. One of them is regular one, and since I misplaced or lost the second one, I'll just borrow some piece of wood from the husband's garage. It will go underneath, so it's not really important. And for this part of threading, I will pick up, just remember that the top layer of cloth will be the light one. So I will pick up, my pickup stick is not really designed to do that. So I will use the ruler and pick up every white thread that I have here, and that would separate me, just because the heddled ones are in a low position. We can easily separate the unheddled ones and leave them free, and divide them to the top layer and bottom layer of the cloth. So it goes like this, and then I'll just add the pickup stick like this. Now sometimes it happens that we have some of the threads crossed at the bottom, and it looks just like this. If you can see these little ties, overlapping threads, that's what we're gonna fix now. This might happen. There's nothing terrifying and worrying about that. This is very easy to fix. So what I need to do, I need to locate the bunch that has these ties, and luckily it's got both ties are on on the same bunch, and I'm using this little thread to tie up it to the front beam. And with a little bit of luck, if I get it without my nails, no nails, never had this strong nails, so I might use the darning needle to pull threads and open the knot. It's very difficult to work with this type of mercerized cotton. It has a very high spin and wraps up very easily. So what I do now, I find this bunch, I separate it, and using a hook I have to locate the thread. There it is. I'm trying to get the camera as close as you can see. And what I have to do, I have to locate the front slot thread and get the rest of the threads out of the slot. It's difficult to do it without seeing it properly. And unwrap the twist that happened between the heddles. So all the threads that are in between the heddles should go straight. Even if they crossed on top or at the bottom, it doesn't matter, because at the top it will be sorted with a pickup stick. At the bottom it will be sorted after the first pick. Now I get the threads back to its normal slot, and we've got it all sorted. Now I'll repeat it again on this one. Get my camera closer. I pull these threads, and since this one is already crossing to another tie, another bunch, I don't need that. It's easier in this case because get all the threads out of the way. Because in this case the front heddled eye is already tied into another bunch. So all I have to do is just to unwrap the thing and thread it back. This is what you would usually do before you finish inserting the first pickup stick. And once that is done, and if everything is straight between the heddles, no ties, no crosses here, we're ready to move to the next step. So after I've straightened up everything, I fixed all the crosses that I had between the heddles, and I have the pickup stick in the upper shed. So it will create the shed for the upper layer, the light one. All I have to do is to place another pickup stick into the shed that was created with the two heddles up and the pickup stick. So only thing that's the easiest part. Just have to make sure that there's no floats between. I know it's difficult with this camera, but I will try. It just carefully slides through like this. Make sure that there's no hanging threads, no floats between. So now we're ready to weave the either double layered, when we weave two separate cloths at the same time, or make a tubular weaving like for handbags, or you can do the folded weaving. So when your top layer goes, the top weaving folds into another. So once you finish it, we'll end up with double width, and so on. That's just easy. And then in the next video, I'm gonna show you how to weave actually this double layered, doubled weaving. Thanks for watching. Bye.